Requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual meeting notice was sent to the press, Down Beach Current, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, on the municipal website, and filed in the office of the municipal clerk. Would you take a second, turn off all electronic equipment as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Johanna, call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker.
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg.
I am here.
Hey, Chief. First item for discussion, Mr. Abbott, the ordinance for the utility easement.
Commissioners, and as you are probably aware, there is a new drainage line that the city has constructed at the end of Rumson in the Bay. The subdivision was an administratively approved subdivision that shows the drainage line. They haven't filed it yet with the county, but they're going to. But we thought that it would be in our best interest of the city to get a written easement document that defined what our rights were to enter the property, maintain that, or replace that line if that's necessary in the future. So the ordinance, by statute, there's an ordinance whenever a city acquires an interest in a property. Now, we're not acquiring, it's being given to us for free.
Not today.
Nevertheless, I think an ordinance is required, and that's what that's all about. Mr. Solomon was extremely cooperative with our people, and we were able to put in a new, much larger drainage line with that device at the end which stops the bay water from coming back in. And seems like it's really working well, too, the new line.
And you have any problem with that, Maureen?
Nope.
You have a problem?
Good with it? Yep.
Go for it, Scott.
That's it. What else?
Okay, thank you. We will now go to department head reports. Fred?
Mayor, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Wait.
Thrilled to be with you all. Oh, what's that? What about last meeting? This is my last meeting? Is that what you said? Does that mean I'm retiring? All of my projects seem to be going smoothly, whichever they are. But I have nothing else to report. I have no complaints. Everything is well here in the technology industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred.
Now try and top that.
I can't.
Maureen?
It was a really busy weekend, and everything's in, and we're dealing with some unhappy campers, but that's just, the nature of the business, but everything was fine, and, it's going to be a busy summer, I think, so.
Good,
That's
thank
it.
you. Jim?
Nothing to report.
Roger?
Happy to be here. Fantastic as always. Now, planning and zoning is continuing on a rigorous path, rigorous pace. Purchasing is ongoing, and tonight's meeting agenda, you'll see some awards going on. But other than that, everything's going smoothly. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Johanna?
Everything's going very well in the clerk's office.
Mr. Abbott, do you have anything else?
Well, we have our light ordinance, which should be light ordinance, which should be becoming law after this 20 days. And well, no, actually, it's not money. We'll have this ordinance in effect. Now we've got to work on enforcing it, and we would hope to be able to sit down with one of the property owners who is very much involved with this issue and see if we can't get it resolved without having to take other steps.
Yes, I am.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it. Mr. Deeney?
Being it's such a well-managed town, and everybody's happy. I have nothing to add. I will say that I'm going to defer anything that I might have said to our CFO, who has a lot of good reports to make tonight.
Chief Wolfson?
Coming off an extremely busy July 4th weekend, I think Maureen could back me up on this. I think we're on par to either break or tie our urinating in public issuance of summonses from last year already. So we'll see how that goes. We've been working on that as a quality of life issue. And we're just geared up for the fireworks this weekend. Other than that, everything's great.
Thank you, Chief. Lisa?
Good afternoon. Couple things. The county has released a tax rate to our assessor, but before I announce anything publicly, I just want to let you know that the collector and the assessor are waiting till next week, because in the past, it's been known to change within like the first week or so, so they're hesitant to issue what the tax rate is, God bless you, right now until it's actually certified. In addition to that, as far as tax collection, we are gearing up to start accepting online credit card payments for taxes and water and sewer bills. Our plan right now is not to accept them at the counter. If anyone wishes to make a payment via a credit card, it will have to be done online. Probably we're looking to have that implemented by September, hopefully, or sooner if it's in time for the release of these tax bills. The tax bills also, I forgot to mention, because of the delay in the tax rate, most likely we'll have a resolution on the agenda for the next meeting to extend the due date, because you have to allow at least 25 days from the time of mailing for their due, and we don't think that we'll have everything done and sent out in time for that. So most likely the August 1st due date will be extended, and Linda Morgan will advise you further on that. It's the 7th of July. Yeah, exactly. So again, the credit card payments, their fee will have to be absorbed by anybody who wishes to use their credit card. The fee does not go to Edmunds, it does not go to the city, it goes to a third party who processes the transactions. And I believe that the rate is 2.95% in addition to what the fee is. And we have no control over that. But hopefully, people will take advantage of it if it makes it easier on the taxpayer. The other thing I wanted to report on publicly were the results of our bond sale that we had on June 28th. As you know, we sold over $18 million worth of bonds. We had 4 bids. The successful bidder was Jeffries, who had a net interest rate of 1.957%, which is an excellent rate, and also offered us a premium of $361,700. All the documents were in, signed, delivered to bond counsel yesterday, and we will be closing on the bonds on July 15th. And then once we receive the proceeds from that, we will be paying off our existing bond anticipation notes. And that's all I have to report, unless you have questions.
Thank you, Lisa. Chief Tomaso.
On the fire department and beach patrol side, Mayor, Commissioners, it was a very, very busy weekend, as Dave already shared. Lots and lots of incidents and calls, but everything went well. I'd also like to re-mention the fireworks being rescheduled for Saturday night, July 9th, between 9 and 9:30. And I want to thank everyone who consulted with me, Mayor and Commissioners, and everybody's approval. Rich, I think we made a good decision. Fred, thanks for the phone blast. And also the Margate mothers, who were also instrumental in that. I'm looking forward to a good shoot Saturday night. Looks like the weather's going to be good. One little short story. Yesterday I wanted to mention our on-duty crew left the station, as they do every day, to go on a drill, and it was a drill down at the bayfront. And as our captain got down there in the truck, he called dispatch and said that there was smoke and flames showing from a boat, and that it wasn't a drill. And they were going down to drill on that very thing. So we had a boat fire there. They put it out in quick order. Everything went well, by the book, and just wanted to let you know that.
Lucky for that guy.
Life is timing.
Gotcha.
Sunset Bay Marina.
Cool. Good job, Tony. Frank?
We were very busy this weekend, especially on the beach, but we were able to handle it. We cleaned up as best as we could every day, and it seemed like everybody was happy down there. We usually can tell how many people are in town by the use of our water, but it being a wet weekend, kind of, we didn't use a lot of water, average for an average weekend. So that was also good. And we had no major problems with any of our pump stations or wells. Everything went fine. That's all I got.
Thank you, Frank. Ed, you're up.
I wasn't very busy this weekend. I relaxed all weekend, so
I guess that's why there wasn't much water consumption.
Okay, the road program is complete, some punch list items still left. The drainage line repair on Lagoon Drive was an interesting process. They injected high-pressure, high-density polyurethane grout and surrounded each joint. We found 5 bad joints in the pipe. From all intents and purposes, it appears that everything is solved. I will continue to monitor it throughout the summer. The total cost exceeded the original estimate because we found 4 more joints that were bad than we estimated, but the total number is around $12,000. To give you a comparison, if we had to do that pipe conventionally, and we just took bids for another storm pipe of similar length, well above $250,000 it would have been. So we're hoping this process is successful. They were very professional, the contractors that did it. So we'll keep this process in our back pocket if we need it for any other pipes. The 2016 road program will be received on July 13th at 11 a.m. So hopefully that will come in with a good price. We'll be looking to bid the repainting of the repainting of the Gladstone Avenue water tank in August. With the intent of trying to award it the first meeting in September. And that's about the only other things. We did go out to bid for the storm line that runs adjacent to the school. It's on the agenda tonight for award. The low bidder was Asphalt Paving, and the number was $233,650, I believe. So we had 3 bidders. The bidders were all very close They were within $4,000 of each other, so we know the bids they all sharpened their pencils, and what we'll do is expedite this project to get it done so that it can be completed prior to school starting. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ed. Marty?
I just have 2 things. First, I'd like to thank all the departments for all the great work over the July 4th weekend. It was It seemed very, very crowded to me, and I know you guys all worked hard. The second thing is I got a call from Lucy the elephant today. She has her birthday coming up in the next couple of weeks, and wanted me to invite everybody publicly to attend the celebration. There's hot dogs, hamburgers, rides. They do a pretty good job. And if it's okay with you, Mike and John, every year Fred will do a phone blast to let the people know the date and the time of the party. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right, Fred, you're all right. You'll try and get that coordinated for us. Good. And that's all I have. That's all I have.
Thank you. John?
Thank you, Mayor. The Robo-Master. Mayor, yes, I want to follow with Maury and thank all our department heads for the great holiday weekend, the beach work, the police, fire, and, Chief, your work in preparation of the cancellation, which was a tough call, but it ended up to be the right call. And the way I look at it, I think it's going to benefit our business community, bringing people back into town on a non-holiday weekend. So I think there is a benefit for having the fireworks this Saturday, so I'm looking forward to that. The other thing, I wanted to bring the commissioners up to date on the jitney service that we have here in the city of Margate. I spoke with the president of the association today, and he is still putting forth an effort to try and make it work. They did have a lack of ridership during the day. Actually, they had pretty much zero ridership during the 10 to 6 p.m. hours, 10 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. And he's requesting, as he's going to bring to his membership, because they're subsidizing the jitneys that are running, the association's subsidizing it to keep it going, to see if it does eventually take off. He's making a request that our resolution was to cover them to, I believe, July, it was 40-some day period, July 15th, that we could run through the Labor Day weekend, just running jitneys from 6 p.m. in the evening to 2 a.m. in the morning. The largest ridership they have is from 10:30, 11 o'clock at night to 1, as it exists now. So he wanted to be able to, move the patrons that want to leave the city from the bar scene and the restaurant scene safely out of town. So I'm bringing that to the attention, and hopefully we could extend the resolution with the new hours of operation.
I'm good with that. Maury, you okay?
I'm good with that.
Good.
And again, it
So
would be...
we'd have to do that logistically, I think, somehow, right?
You're going to have to do it tonight, right? Yes.
All right.
So I wanted to bring it up during a work session.
Perfect.
But it's still based on, they're going to vote on it tomorrow, because the association is subsidizing those jitneys that are coming into town, and he has to have his membership ratify that. So I would like to be able to at least have a vote and offer it, continue it, at least through Labor Day, and, see where it goes. Thank you.
Anything else, John?
Joanna, I think we can pull that off tonight. We can just take the old resolution, assign it a new number, and just specify it. And do you want to do it at 6 o'clock, John? Well, we're sort of going to have to, because the date on the original resolution was July 15th, and we don't have a meeting. All right. So we'll do it by motion at 6 o'clock.
Right.
And then I'll draft a resolution tomorrow. We'll spell out the terms again.
Sounds good.
Very good. Thank you. Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you. I, of course, would like to join in thanking all of our employees for getting us through a very busy July 4th weekend. I also concur that the fireworks change of time was the right call. I'd like to bring up something else I forgot. I should have brought it up at the workshop meeting. I did not. We're getting to the point in the 1 South Washington construction period that we have to start thinking about what we're going to put in a time capsule that's going to be buried in the building. So if anybody has anything you'd like to, you think would be appropriate, let's get that to the commission, okay? With that, we'll open for public comment, 3 minutes on anything that was discussed here today. There being no public comment.
He's looking at it.
Unless you want to complain about that asphalt job.
Nah, you can hold off on that.
This is the first. You're going to do it this week.
Generally, I defer to my older colleague, but since he rarely doesn't have something to say, I'd just like to chime in on the fireworks. Steve Warner, 103 North Sumner. I also agree it was a good call, and I mean, I wonder if maybe it's not a good idea to permanently move it to the next weekend or something. It's so crowded. Anybody that's gone to that, it's just an absolute madhouse. And I mean, if people want to go to the fireworks, they can go to Atlantic City or Ocean City or what have you, and maybe just have Margate do it the next weekend, possibly. Just a thought. I guess that's all I have to say.
Sewell 22 West Drive. Perhaps we can move with the Bastille Day and bring all the French Canucks into town. No tipping. However, back to the comments by Mr. Wahlberg, it seems that we're spending close to $250,000 for asphalting to upgrade the storm sewer. Can you give us a little elaboration what we're getting for $250,000?
Good.
We're replacing a 36-inch storm line that connects to our system that handles probably two-thirds of the city. We have a condition where the storm line apparently is failing, and it needs to be replaced. It's 300 and some feet, I believe, 36-inch sanitary sewer line. That's a storm sewer that's approximately 7 feet deep, heavily encased in groundwater, so it's a fairly complex project.
Well, that's satisfying. Thanks a million.
He says Steve Leva.
John, I want to make a comment on that also. It's in the school playgrounds area, and there's large depressions where the sand is washing out through, and I have a grave concern about our school children. They use that for emergencies and for fire drills. It's not necessarily the playground. We have to make it safe based on that. And there were 3 bids, and they were all within $4,000. So it was a very competitive bid, and the whole area from building to fence, from one end to the street, is all going to be repaved. So it's a good project.
Any other public comment? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Yes.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes. Yes.